at 10. When an elderly Tucson woman started having plumbing issues at her home, she thought it would be a cheap and easy fix, but it ended up costing her all of her life savings, and her home remains uninhabitable. She turned to N4 Tucson Investigators for help, and our chief investigative reporter, Cora Nylander, looks for answers in tonight's N4 Tucson investigation.
This is Sally Rendon's home, but she hasn't lived here for months because there's no plumbing. She spent thousands to make repairs, but the work wasn't finished. In fact, the work that was done made things worse. Now she's desperate for help.
They took advantage of an old lady.
Sally Rendon wasn't able to celebrate Thanksgiving with her family at her home this year because it's been in shambles since August after hiring Elite Rooter to replace the wax rings to the toilets in each of her bathrooms. She says she was told it would be an inexpensive fix.
The man initially told me it was $177 per ring.
So with some labor costs, she expected to be out maybe a few $100s, and she was planning to pay through her insurance. But things didn't go quite that way.
Within the hour, both commodes had been removed. Within the hour, I was told that they wouldn't accept my insurance coverage.
Sally says they urged her to go through their own finance company. She didn't want to, but then soon realized a credit card was opened in her name through their finance company for $16,800. And Elite Rooter was paid more than $12,000, the interest rate 26%.
And they opened the account without my consent. They took the money without my consent.
She claims her signature was forged.
I did not sign the contract, however, it is signed, but it doesn't appear to be my signature.
She got intimidated and used her life savings to pay off most of the costs, but was about $1,000 short.
And they put a lien against my house.
Shoddy work. They didn't do any of the edges. They didn't fix it. There's dust all over the place.
Charlie Rendon is Sally's son. He's also a contractor. He was upset when he learned what happened.
I was out of town, so I wasn't here when the construction was being done, or else I would have never allowed it to continue.
They reported the issues to the Register of Contractors, who sent out an inspector.
I just need to gather information.
The N4 Tucson investigators were there as the ROC reviewed the work. The inspector made it clear that the work didn't meet standards.
It's not even following what the manufacturer's specifications would be for installation.
In this report, filed after the inspection, the ROC determined Elite Rooter didn't even have proper permits to do the work and didn't complete the job, writing, quote, "The sections of completed work does not meet industry standards, and the toilets in both bathrooms have not been installed and cannot be installed due to the current conditions." They also found that sections of the post tension were damaged, and they lacked the proper engineering plans to do such work. We found nobody at Elite Rooter's Tucson office. All calls go to a national call center. We've made repeated requests for comment, but have never received a response. Sally just wants the work done and her home back.
Repair my bathrooms, make my home habitable.
Sally Rendon says Elite Rooter hasn't been returning her phone calls. They also did not show up to that ROC inspection. The ROC issued a directive giving the company until December 13th to correct the issues. Reporting from the south side, Cora Nylander, N4 Tucson.